Are you in the process of researching how you can change your name? Maybe you've changed your marital status and would like to change your name. Or you're going through divorce and wish to change your name because you're no longer taking your spouse's name. You could be going through the adoption process and are looking to change your name. Or you're becoming a new U.S. citizen and are looking to change your name. Or it could be a number of personal reasons for you to change your name, such as maybe you had the wrong political party that you joined and wish to change your name and no longer wish to be part of that political party. Whatever the reason is, you are in the process of researching how you can change your name. Well, we recommend that the first place you start to look at how you would change your name is at your local library. You go to your local library and you look up the law check forms on how to change your name, or the law check articles on how to change your name. And they're at your local library. Hello, my name is Vincent Punt, Vice President of Laws Online, the National Database of Legal Professionals. And I'd like to start out that this is in no way a substitute for legal advice. We always recommend that you get local. You find an attorney who can help you with name change process in your local community. That is the best place to start, is getting local with a local legal professional. When you do contact your legal professional, you may want to look at what are the processes of changing your name and go through the research before you actually get there. So, if you go to the library, you're going to find that the article is going to have several pieces of information, and you're going to find out one of the very first things is that in the United States, a name change process is usually handled by the courts. There's not a special state agency. It's actually done through a petition through the courts. Almost all 50 states use some type of court procedure to change the name. And if you go to the library and you look up the law check information, you'll find links to each of your states. And almost every state has a form that you can use to petition the court for your name change. That is the very first place that you're going to start if you're looking to change your name. Now, we talked about reasons why you would want to change your name, but are there instances when you cannot change your name? And that is true. You cannot change your name. For instance, if you're in the middle of filing bankruptcy, you can't change your name to avoid financial issues. You can't change your name to avoid a felony. If you've been convicted of a felony, you cannot change your name. If you have financial judgments against you, you cannot change your name. You cannot change your name to interfere with a trademark or a corporation. That would not be allowed by the courts for you to change your name. You cannot change your name onto a slur or some type of demeaning name. These are things that the court will reject, and they're not permitted to allow you to change your name. Now, in this process of changing your name, once you've gone to the library and you've looked at the law check article on the name change information, you'll find that there is a sample of a generic petition. This is just a sample of what you may expect when doing a petition to the court for a name change. If we take a look at that, you probably have several questions. First of all, in this sample, what is a petition in the first place? Well, a petition is a formal request to the court to take action on a specific event. So that is what a petition is. This specific event that you want the court to take action on is a name change. Well, next, how do you create a petition? Well, you're looking currently at a sample petition, and we want to outline what are the elements of a petition that you would submit to a court for name change. At the very top of this petition, you're going to see that you have to identify the court in which you're filing this petition. This is part of the caption of the petition, and it usually starts out with "in the state of blank," and you would put in, for instance, we're going to use Iowa District, court in and for, and we're going to use Lynn County. Now, some states use counties, some use boroughs. Again, check with your legal professional on this part of the caption on how you would do it. But the very first part of a petition caption must identify the court. Next, number 2, if you look at the left side, reading left to right, The left section is identifying the parties. That's what this section of the petition is for. So in this part of the caption, the left side, we're going to identify the name change of Jonathan Doe, Jonathan B. Doe. And this is where you would put the parties to this petition. Here we're just dealing with one party. In other cases, you might be dealing with multiple, but it's just Jonathan B. Doe. Next part of the caption is the definition of what you are making a change for. So this space, you have two parts. The first part, you want to put a case number and you want to leave the number blank. This is where the court is going to fill in their own tracking number so they can track this petition as it goes through the court process. Remember, the court has hundreds of petitions coming through it, if not thousands, and one way to identify it is assigning a case number, and that's what they will do. You don't. But leave that section for them. Next, the petition in here should name the proceeding. What is being asked of the court? And here we're asking the court for a name change. Usually you tell the court whether this action is an equity or law. In this case, it's a general jurisdiction, which we would include the name change for it's one party that we have. So this is a petition for change of name. That's the caption of the petition. Now, let's take a look at the body of the petition. The body of the petition is called the prayer or plea. And in this plea or prayer, there are two elements. One is the formal statement of why the petitioner wants to change their name. And we're going to go through that. As you can see here, it's sort of got it pre-filled out. And then finally, there's going to be at the end a specific request which explicitly states what the petitioner wants the court to order. Those are the two elements of the plea. So let's go ahead and start filling out this formal request. So in this formal statement and request, it starts out, the petitioner for this petition for change of name under the state of, and here you would add your state, we're going to use the sample of Iowa. The code and law in the state of Iowa, for this example, happens to be 674, chapter, section, states. Now, you would look that up with your own legal counsel. You can go to the local library and find out what your state requires. There are different code sections, and a lot of states already have a pre-drafted petition that you can use, and you don't have to use this sample. You can use the one supplied to by the state. Again, always check with legal professionals. So here, number one, the petitioner presents full legal name as Jonathan Blank Doe, and the petitioner resides in Lynn County in the state of Iowa. Again, we're using this as the sample state for this example. The petitioner is described as 6 feet high, 0 inches tall, weighs 210 pounds, hair color brown, eyes are blue. The petitioner is a European ethnic race, male, who was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and then we'll use USA or United States in 10/31/1997. Number 4, the petitioner currently resides at 331st Street Southeast, Cedar Rapids, Iowa 52403, and then also may have resided at the previous following addresses. Each state is different. In this particular example, we leave a blank area for other additional addresses. Again, we're changing the name, so the petitioner must identify where they currently live and where they were living in the past, because the name change has to be of honorable means and can't be used to be deceptive. Number 5, the petitioner is currently unmarried. You would check wherever the petitioner is either married or unmarried. In this case, it's unmarried. Number 6, the petitioner owns the following real property in the state of, and again, our example, we're using Iowa. And the reason that the description of the property is important, even though we mentioned where we're living, is for ownership purposes. We want to make sure that this petitioner is clear and is consistent on their mortgage payments, and they're not using the name change as a way to avoid debt. So the naming of property is important in this particular petition. Number 7, the petitioner desires a name change for the following reasons. Here you want to be specific for the judge who's going to be reviewing your petition. In this case, we're going to use the sample. Petitioner wants to have a new start in his or her life, and particularly their social circles. They were previously a member of a certain political party that has been threatening to their life or has been an obstacle for them to move forward in their future endeavors. Something like that is going to start leaning towards more being specific about why the name change is requested. You may have more specific reasons, but the more information you can put in here in your petition, the better chances that the judge will be granting that. Again, contact local counsel to make sure you're doing that part of it correctly. Number 8, the petitioner has not previously requested a name change pursuant to the state of, and here we're using the example, Iowa, laws and code under section 674. And then the following, the petitioner has a certified copy of the birth certificate. If you do not have a certified copy of a birth certificate, and if you're related to immigration status, you definitely need to seek legal advice on that particular part of it, because other documentation will need to be presented. And then finally, here's where we get to the specific request of the plea. The petitioner requests the court to enter an order changing the petitioner's name from Jonathan Blank Doe to Bob B. Blank. And that's the new name the petitioner wishes to have. And then finally, you're going to certify under the penalty of the perjury pursuant to the laws in the state of, and then you put your state in here, we're going to put the state of Iowa, that the proceeding is true and correct. And you're going to go ahead and date, put your phone number, email, signature, and petitioner's printed name and mailing address. And again, this is a generic sample of a petition that would be used to the court to change your name. You would want to talk to your local legal counsel, and you'd want to look at the law check information forms to see what links that your state provides and what information you need to provide to your local court in order for you to proceed with your name change. In general, a name change is a relatively simple process. It will take time. You're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood between 90 to 120 days, depending on the state. You will also have to go through a process of informing government offices after your name is changed. This means you'll have to inform, for instance, taxing authorities. Your Social Security will have to be informed of your name change. And you can see a link to both the IRS and the Social Security on the law check information article about changing your name. You will also have to make a name change to your driver's license or state identification card. And again, you can look at the law check information at your local library on finding your state's DMV or driver's license area that you would change the name on your driver's license. Filling out the government information after the court has granted an order changing your name is a necessity. You absolutely have to follow through that procedure. You can't just change your name and expect the government agencies to know that your name has changed. You have to inform them from the Social Security to your driver's license to other state and federal agencies that your name has changed. That is paramount and important to this process. It's an easy process. It's fairly quick and simple. You will be changing your name through the courts. Almost every state requires this. And you can get a sample form from most of your states have a already organized form that you can use to start the process of changing your name. This is one of those areas that's pretty straightforward to actually do, but we highly, highly recommend that you get a legal professional to help you in the process of changing your name. This is a major step, and it is important, and it'll be a life-changing event. So good luck, and remember, always seek local legal counsel for something like changing your name. Have a great day, and good luck with the process.